Hey guys, thanks so much for coming to the video. I really appreciate it. So I am sorry I didn't get a video out last week. It's been a manic week, let's be honest. Quite a lot of things going on for my personal life, so I just wasn't able to get around to doing a video. But it is Sunday, it is 7 o'clock, so here is a new video for you. And rather than me doing a review on a lightsaber, I thought I'd actually watch a review on one of my lightsabers. So about 4 years ago, Stoney Magnum bought a lightsaber from me, and it wasn't very good. There's quite a lot of things that need to be improved. I saw the review, and it took me about 2 years to really upgrade and go over everything and, for lack of a better word, perfect what it was going to be. But I did. I went away, and then with help from Jim at Fulcrum the Force, I contacted Stoney Magnum again and said, "Hi, would you be interested in me sending you a new lightsaber so that you can review it? If you like the new lightsaber, possibly consider taking down the old review because it'd be outdated and it's not really relevant to what I am now." And he agreed, which was fantastic. So I got it made for him, and this is the review. I have seen the review once, but it's about a year and a half ago this review came up, so I've not seen it since then. And I thought, you know what, I wouldn't mind watching it again, and we're going to watch that, you and me now, and see what he has to say. So I'm going to jump over to a different screen, and we're going to check it out. He has got insane lightsaber skills, by the way. I could never do these lightsaber thingy-mabobs that he does. I think he does. I think one of the moves he does here is called an obi-wan. Feel free to correct me in the comments, but I cannot do this. This right now, not a chance. Cannot do it. No, sir. I'm okay with a lightsaber, just not that good. Look at the background. This is where he lives. So unfair.
Full disclaimer up front. They sent me this for free, so huge thank you to Force Sabers UK for sending me this onto the review.
It's a redemption.
The Fallen Prince. So, this is from Force Sabers UK. If you've been around long enough, you might have heard the old review of them from about, I think, 2 years ago by now.
It was bad.
Yeah, safe to say I was not happy with them. And I had...
To be fair, after I've spoken to Stoney a lot more, become really good friends now. And to be fair, he did say that before he reviewed that lightsaber that he did the review on, he had literally just reviewed a DX Sabers lightsaber, which was absolutely appalling. And he was in a really bad mood because of it, and then he went straight into reviewing mine. So he said that might have swayed his judgment a little bit. So, but it's fair. I don't mind.
Had a fair few problems. And now, 2 years later, they were kind enough to send me a message and ask for a second chance. They told me that they had fixed every single problem that I mentioned. And did they? Yes, actually. They actually did.
Yes.
Gone are the hideous, small, tiny garage drop-on floor, roll-around scratches. Gone is the horrific sound, mostly. And gone is the infamous penis blade.
Just to say, guys, I do go to a lot of effort to try and make sure any polished, clean lightsaber that goes out has got as near possible no scratches at all. It is all made by hand, so there may be incredibly slight imperfections, like ever so slight scratches. I've seen CNC machined lightsabers come out with way more scratches and have worse quality scratches than what I actually produce on my handmade. But just take into consideration, these are all handmade, and there will be ever so slight imperfections. But if I get less than a machine, it's a win. But they're not going to be perfect in the sense, because they're handmade. So, yeah.
Safe to say this is a Xenopixel though, so it has a Neopixel blade in it, but I've seen from other sources that those penis blades are gone as well.
I made those penis blades.
Has not changed, but I like it now. I don't know why I was shitting on it in the past. This is great. If you're dueling, I've never held a more comfortable... Well, I've held more comfortable, but no other material has like grabbed me back like this does. Like if you're mid-swing and catch this, it holds onto you as much as you hold on to it. Another thing that surprised me incredibly about this saber is how insanely comfy the emitter is. This is, without a doubt, the most comfortable Kestis saber
It's nice.
I've ever
It's
held.
nice to hold.
Hey, yes. Like, it is kind of nuts. I've never held just an emitter that's like detailed like this in general that is as comfortable as this. It is quite surprising. I think it has something to do with the coating that they put on this. First, when we got this, we thought a lot of this was plastic. It has like you can't hear the metal thing you get, metal sounds you get from banging metal. Not from all of it at least, but especially this part. So I was a bit worried that they had replaced everything, or this was just molded plastic that would break off easily. They told me this entire thing is metal.
It is metal.
But the reason it gives off that plasticky feeling is just because of some coating that they put over it. So, and I don't know if their sanding jobs have gotten a lot better, or if it's that coating that makes it so unsharp in every possible way.
Technical terms, unsharp. But yeah, the reason why it is no sharp, I put a lot, and I have to emphasize a lot of effort into the sanding on the edges, to make sure there's no sharp area. There's no way you could hurt yourself. I did a review on the Saber Forge one a little while ago, and that had a lot of very sharp areas and two very painful points. I go to a lot of work to try and make sure nothing is like that on any of my hilts, just for safety. The lacquer that he's referring to, once the weathering's been done, I do put on a clear coat lacquer just to lock in and protect that weathering job. And that, it may fractionally help towards making it feel a bit more smooth around the edges, but 95% of it is down to the actual amount of effort put into it to sand down those edges. So yeah.
So even a detailed emitter like this,
Nice, so nice
with the fucking screws standing out of it, even the little screw that holds the blade in, you can't even feel it. It's actually kind of nuts. Hey, do you like Star Wars clothing? Great, because I got merch. I got a large variety of very cool
He's getting plugged again. To be honest, $19,
if you want to
the
support the channel,
OBI
support me,
and the one to its left. I think those two are really nice. I would actually spend $19 on either one of those.
I'm not a fan of the weathering. It's kind of just like black smudges all over. They went a little bit overboard on it. I think it would look better if they didn't go so heavy on it, but apparently that was just some miscommunication.
Yeah, basically we got so carried away with discussing the battle damage. It completely passed us the weathering. We just said, yeah, we'll weather it. And when I first started, because this is one of the first ones I started making of that range, and I even looking back, I went too heavy on the weathering. I don't put that much weathering on it now, but as I'm fairly sure Stoney mentions it, but when you want just a very light bit of weathering, or you want a lot of weathering, or a lot of battle damage, or just a tiny bit of battle damage, just tell me, and I can accommodate it. Every lightsaber is completely unique. There's no one lightsaber is the same that I've made, because they're done by hand, so everyone is bespoke. And if somebody has a preference, I'll do my best to accommodate that. So yeah,
they do offer customization of your own saber.
Yeah.
If you order this and you want it heavily weathered, you just tell them that. If you want it less weathered, you tell them that. They accommodate they want to make it special. They want to make it yours. If you have any requests, they told me to tell you to tell them. However, the damage they do to it, the actual damage that's supposed to be there is beautiful.
Good.
I love the scars, this big scars here, and little scratches on here, and the little blaster mark on the back here.
I do love
It's very well done. These kinds of weathering are beautiful. You're very good at these.
Thank you.
The sabers give off a weird, like, cartoonish vibe, and that's meant in the most endearing, cute, beautiful, epic way, whatever it's meant in a good way. It's kind of like, it doesn't like it's trying to make a replica out of a game or a movie. It feels like they're trying to make a replica out of the Clone Wars series. Like, it's got that weird, not real look, but it's also not like it's supposed to be metal look. It's literally just like, it's supposed to be what metal looks like in a cartoon.
I think I know what it means, yeah. again, with this being such an early version of when I started doing these, that compared to the ones now actually look more polished and have more shine to it, but with some weathering. So they look like metal but weathered, which is what I was trying to do here. But yeah, I mean, because everything's made by hand, there is a limitation to what I'm able to do. So I'll be able to get something possibly close to the original, but it'll have enough variation, enough differences, so it won't be exactly the same. But if you were to look at it, you go, all right, I know what that is. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I think the clear coat lacquer I know the clear coat lacquer also dulls. It does dull the shine or the reflection of metal. So that's why you get that look. But yeah,
and it's interesting, and I feel like all of their sabers have that quality to them, and I don't hate it. Some of them I don't really enjoy it on,
that's
but
fair.
Like some
Everyone
of them really rock it. For example, this one.
Mm-hmm.
Problems that I do have. I mentioned the sound before. It's definitely an upgrade from what it was, 100%. And it probably sounds good in all their other sabers. This one in particular just sounds off because the speaker is like up here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it just has this narrow little passage down here to come out of. So it's bouncing on the way out. There's no sound venting in this thing, so all the fonts and everything just kind of sounds the same because it's got that weird echoey sound to it as well.
To be fair, I do know what he means. And with that particular model, there is less space, as he said, for the sound to vent out of. He is completely right. But for me personally, I've reviewed a few other lightsabers from other manufacturers. I haven't noticed it to that level. He's got a much broader range of experience with different lightsabers from different sabersmiths, so he will notice these things more. But to the casual collector, I think you'd be hard pushed to notice. I have trouble noticing it personally. Not saying that he's wrong. I completely trust that he's right because he has the Vendari, which is the sound on the Vendari is mind blowing. So yeah, totally get what you're saying. I am looking at things to do in regards to that, but it's just this particular model that kind of affects more. But the rest of the models are very, very different.
I've told them about this. They talked about making it wider. Honestly, I think the best course of action might just to make sound venting in this.
I would like to
just take a drill and make vents in here.
It's just making sure all those little tiny round vents are all neat and tidy. That's the only kind of problem.
Who knows? We'll figure it out. It's not horrible.
Yeah,
but it could be better.
Yeah, there's always room for improvement.
I've dueled with this
always
for a little bit, and it's holding up.
Even the Vandari can get improvement.
I don't know where these blades come from. I assume just a reseller somewhere, but they are holding up.
Yeah, they're LGT.
I haven't really hit this part much, if at all, but they say it's metal, so it should hold up. I'm not worried about it. One thing that I do actually not like, which is another thing that if you get a Xenopixel from them, just have to tell them, or again, Force Sabers, if you're watching this, hang on.
Low battery. Please recharge.
Alright, we're going to have to hang on for like an hour.
Is it because it ran out of power? Is that what you don't like? Because that happens to all the lightsabers. I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding.
Hour or two while I charge it. What I was about to show you is that it's just way too sensitive. The gesture controls, I mean. Way sensitive. Way too sensitive. I actually tested it while it had battery in them. I'll just show you once the battery is. I'll put some footage over it. I literally tap it like that and it activates. And also, while dueling, it has a tendency to just turn itself off because it's too sensitive. So when you're just in mid-flow or mid-clash and you do that twist motion in any sort of way, it just turns itself off and it just really ruins the duel.
Yeah. I absolutely 1,000% agree with him. The board he has in that is the Xenopixel V2. We're on the V3 now. It wouldn't surprise us if we're getting close to a V4. But the V2, you could adjust it but you had to put the SIM card into the computer and adjust it that way. Again, I'd only just started using the V2. It's not an excuse, but I'd only started doing it. After this, I did look at that specifically, and I did adjust it on every single Saber going forward so that it wasn't as sensitive. However, now we've got the Xenopixel V3, and you can actually adjust virtually everything by the app on your mobile phone. And one thing I always do, specifically what Stoney just said, is when you're dueling, it automatically turns off. I actually disable the 2 gesture controls for off. So the only way to turn the Saber off is by holding down and pressing that button, because that's the only time I want it to go off is when I press that button down. So I always disable the twist function and the pull down function, or gesture, should I say, on the X3, so it can't turn off unless I'm pressing down that button. So completely valid. And the X2 was really sensitive, but again, it's much better now. And like I say, you can adjust everything off the app, so it's a big difference.
So
Totally
make
valid.
sure
Excuse
for
me, there
Sabers
is a message
that
for
maybe
you.
turn the sensitivity a bit down, because it's way too it's way too high.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
And yeah, I had this in my backpack while we were walking, and literally just it's sitting there while I was walking, like that activated it. So I haven't had this problem with other gesture control Sabers, so I'm just assuming that these sensitivity settings are too high. They use the Xenopixel V2 board, which comes with a lot of
Great
cool
board.
fonts, a lot of cool blade effects, a lot of funny blade effects and ignitions.
It's still a budget board, but it's still just under $100 for the board. Just the board. It's very expensive.
If you bought a Saber from them before, you might not be able to open a Saber and get to the SD card. That's a problem they fixed now. They did not fix it in time before they sent me this though. But from now on, you should be able to take the bottom off and pull the SD card out and access it.
We've advanced to this
But
now.
overall,
Full removable
I'm
chassis.
actually really, really happy with it. I was very surprised, actually. These guys make everything by hand still, and that gives it that little endearing quality as well.
It does. I think so.
This is very, very nice.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, if you need a second opinion, you can head over to Fulcrum and the Force. He's reviewing a bunch of their Sabers, and he seems to be enjoying it all. If you need a third opinion, Anna,
Yeah,
how's this lightsaber?
it's really nice and super comfy.
Third opinion. There
Thanks,
you go.
Anna.
Thank you, dear. So,
She's
definitely
nice.
check them out. Tell them Stoney sent you. There are some cool Sabers on their site.
Sure.
Personally, I really like the look of their take on the Revan hilt. It looks very nice, and I really,
like that
really do actually want it. They have a budget range, they have a Xenopixel range, they have an RGB range. They've got price ranges that are actually very affordable. And they,
Yep.
again, they do have a few very nice Sabers. They've got a nice looking curved hilt. They've got, like I said, the Revan. Check out the Revan. Please check out the Revan. It's not like accurate in any way. It's like their take on it, but it's beautiful. I actually really want it. But yeah, they've got quick release clips. Just check them out. They're having a competition. If you're watching this when it comes out, they're having some sort of competition. Go check that out.
That's obviously ended now,
But
guys.
yeah, tell them Stoney sent you. Always fun when they know where you're coming from. Anyway, that's been my quick little review for the Force Sabers UK Fallen Prince. If you enjoyed the review, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your grandparents. It's been wonderful.
Don't forget to buy a shirt, for God's sake.
So anyway, I've been Stoney Magnum, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Yeah, so that was the review. A really good review. I think he was very fair. I only have one rule with reviews, and that is if there's anything negative, if you can just provide that negative feedback in a constructive way, that's all I ask. In my mind, if someone buys something, they have the right to make any review that they want. I wouldn't really condone going out and just crapping all over a company or product or business. I'm sure there are some that deserve that. If possible, you come across a lot better if you give constructive feedback. It might not be great, but provide that in a constructive way. Why isn't it great? What could be better? What could be done? But yeah, anybody that does a review from Forward by Sabers, absolutely fine, no issue whatsoever. I welcome the reviews. There's always room for improvement. There's always things I can do better. I'm one for that. I'm a true believer. But yeah, I hope you like the video. I enjoyed watching it. I've not seen that since he did it, and I watched it. I was like really happy. I was like, oh, thank God. We've become a lot closer as friends since then, which is nice. But yeah, I think it was a good review. If you do like me reacting to the review videos, then by all means please give the video a like and put a comment below. There's quite a few other reviews out there, I'm sure, so if you did like this, I'll monitor the feedback on this one and I may do another one for you. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you all next Sunday at 7 o'clock.